What's up, YouTube? You know, my friend Raiku said he would listen for hours if I were to tell gambling stories. So, I thought I would start episode 1. Now, keep in mind, I'm a little bit drunk, drinking Jack and Coke. And also, I have to preface the story, otherwise, I'm not going to really know what's going on here. So with that said, even people's favorite TV shows, they have what's known as a pilot, where they got to introduce the characters. And even though it might be your favorite show of all time, when you go back and see the pilot's probably not really that great. And that's basically this video. It's not going to be that great because I got to preface everything and I got to tiptoe as I tell stories. Because some people have not been convicted of their wrongdoings per se. Okay, so let me give you some background. First of all, when I was 18 years old, I went to university. I got a degree in mathematics for commerce. That's a business degree, but it specializes in statistical analysis, optimal resource allocation. And prior to getting the degree completed, I was about, at that time, 21, 22, around that age. Casinos had become, in my area, for the first time, legal. And regular people like me and you could have a casino. Just like you open your own donut shop or mom and pa hamburger shop, whatever. You could have your own casino. Because of all the corruption, today, casinos in this area are only owned by multi-billion-dollar corporations, publicly traded on the stock exchange. But back then, more than 20 years ago, it was totally different. And so I'm getting near the end of my degree, and you got to pick what you want to do for a living. And I'm kind of like a bum, professional bum, but I'm smart, right? So school's easy for me. Everything, I'm breezing through life. I'm just going through the motions, and I have an interest in cards. So I see an ad in the paper. Casinos are just becoming legalized here. It says something like, for $200, you get a week's training. If you pass your table test, we'll guarantee you employment. Sounds good to me. Plus, it's a casino. It's running, at that time, it was running 16 hours a day. Today, it's 24 hours. But I was like, so I can still complete my degree and still work full time, because, you just schedule your hours. My classes are in the daytime. And by the way university here works is you literally go to class for about 3 hours a day. They expect you to, though, to do 2 to 3 hours homework per hour in classroom. So, there's still going to be a full day there, but in terms of real time, and if you're smarter, you can do the minimum, let's say. Instead of 2 hours to 3 hours homework, you're doing like 1 hour, and you can still pass these courses, no problem, if you're smart. And so really, I had to be in classroom about 3 hours, and here they didn't care about attendance. To be honest with you, as long as you took your tests, I know for the first couple of years of university, I didn't even go to class. I just went for the test. They told me there's a midterm in October or something, and the finals in December. They split the semester. And I'm showing up 2 days. I'll see you in October and I'll see you in December. But then as it went on, it got extremely difficult per se, that you really needed to be either in the classroom or studying your ass off for those 3 hours per hour of in class shit. So what I chose to do was just spend the hour in class, and that was good enough for me for my final 2 years. So basically, I needed to only be in school for 3 hours, and I'm done. So that's where the casino comes in. So I see this ad, and $200. I go down there and give them my $200. I'm a hustler back then. $200 is fucking peanuts to me. But back then, for a real working person, the minimum wage was about $5 an hour. $200 represented your entire week's pay before taxes, if you're making minimum wage, which at the time was about 21 years old, which is pretty much what you make. So that's why I was hustling. The casino, by the way, paid a little bit more than minimum wage. I can't remember exactly. I think it was $6 or $7 an hour plus your tips. Now, the tips could be quite good if they were given to you. And that's where we're going to start this story. So I complete the school, do the the table test, passed with flying colors. They throw me into the casino. The very first day I'm there, and what's important to know back then in this place, it was like total fucking corruption. Anybody could own the casino, so you had literally people with mob ties, as long as they didn't have the criminal record, getting licenses. And so I went to work for one. We're going to call this guy Benny. You know, Benny? Yeah, that's Benny. He looked like an ex-boxer or a mob enforcer. Very intimidating man. That's Benny. And I'm from the streets, so I got a story there to tell you. I go to work at the casino, and at the end of the night, Benny taps me on the shoulder and says, "Get out of here." Now, what you need to know is you got a tray in front of you. So Benny's going to count this tray. Let's say the table opened with $1,000, and now there's $3,000 in. That's $2,000 profit. But if Benny writes on that slip there's $800, guess what? He just made $2,200. Now, that's not the proper way to close a table. Even where I was from, which is like the cowboy days, the brand new in the jurisdiction, the blind leading the blind. Obviously, city councilors paid off by the mob to get these fucking licenses. They didn't want the real multi-billion-dollar corporations to come in here at that time until there was so much fucking corruption they couldn't turn their fucking eye to it. So Benny takes me off. Now, the proper way to do it, back then they were roving casinos. They would go to banquet hall to banquet hall, and they'd be there for about 3 days. And they were called charity casinos. They would give part of the profits to charities. Now, after leaving this really corrupt casino, I went to work for a more proper one, and the proper way to close the table at that time was you would have a member of the charity who was random, so you wouldn't even know who this person was, plus your pit boss, plus the dealer. So 3 people minimum would have to be on the scan as opposed to Benny. Okay, that's the proper way to do it. Now, when Benny closed the table that night and sent me away, you know, I was peeking out of the corner of my eye, and the man took my tip jar and fucking went and dumped it in the fucking tray. So right away I go, whoa, this man's stealing my fucking tips. When I got my first paycheck, which was after about 2 weeks of employment, it said $10 for tips, plus, you know, I was taxed. This is a fucking joke. Buddy, if there's 6 people at the table, and let's say this guy tips once or twice per hour and just tips a fucking dollar, there's like $12 fucking per hour going in that, and this was a 2-week paycheck. We're talking 80 fucking hours at least. You know, it should be 160 or more dollars. It's kind of obvious, but we were sharing tips with the pit bosses, and what do you call it? The poker dealers were really making the fucking tips because they were getting tipped $1 or $2 every single pot. And in fact, when it was brand new, they were getting tipped $5 a pot, and they were dealing literally 40 hands an hour at $5 a pot. You're talking $200 an hour in tips, but we had to share. You didn't get them all. But what I'm saying is, it was so fucking corrupt. Now, how did I end my employment there? So right away, I'm already making networking to find another job at a different casino. And what basically the straw that broke the camel's back was one night. These are small time casinos back then. The minimum was like $5 and the maximum was $10 because it was just new to the jurisdiction. They're just trying it out. I mean, today you can make $1,000 bet, a $2,000 bet, whatever the fuck you want to make, basically. Well, there's table limits, but you get the idea. It's in the thousands, not the fucking $10. And so the red chips are $5 and the white chips are $1. And my tray is running out of white chips, the dollar chips. So the players want to be cute, you know. They're betting $6. And what that means is when you play a blackjack that pays 3 to 2, I gotta pay these guys $9. 1 red, 4 whites, but I don't have 4 whites to spare, you know. I think I got like a white in the tray. I'm calling my pit boss. I'm telling him I need a fill on the whites. He's not giving it to me. What the fuck you want me to do? Now I got these guys betting $6 like jackasses just to be fucking funny, you know. So sure enough, one round, 3 guys get blackjacks. Can you fucking believe this? So now I gotta pay out like $9. I need 4 whites, 4 whites, 4 whites. $12, and I got like a fucking two whites in the tray. So I do it, you know, streetwise. I take 10. give him 10. 2 reds. Take the white chip off theirs, tap on top, draw attention to it. You know, I'm not trying to fucking do any kind of shenanigans. 10, take away 1, and put it in the fucking tray. So I'm calling attention to it. Benny sees this. Oh my god, Benny takes me off the fucking table, takes me to the fucking back room, goes, who the fuck told you to pay like that? Did we teach you that in the fucking school? Did we teach you that? You know, it's intimidating, man. I'm from the fucking street, so there's not a lot of weapons around. I go into my pocket and I grab my car key. You know, you stick it right there, you hold the base in your hand, and you're gonna jab the guy right in the fucking throat. He's gonna drop like a fucking dog. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go. He's like, did we tell you to fucking pay like that? Go home. So I thought he'd punish me, you know, go home, you don't make your day's pay. But I'm Rob, I'm a fucking hustler. I can make money like no fucking problem, like don't worry about it. So I go home, the next day I call in sick. The next day after that I call in sick. The next day I don't bother because, you know, I'm not coming back. Now, here's my first story. Raikou said he'd like some scams, gambling stories, so now I set up preface so you know who the characters are, you know who the fuck we're talking about. Gotta start slow. We're gonna start with Benny. Back when I started, the first thing I realized when I went to the casino was there's no fucking security here. They had no surveillance. Oh my god, I'm gonna get offered the fucking cheat. Those are other stories. Who was there? But really, my personal safety, I'm like, there's no fucking cameras around here, you know? This is not safe. There's thousands of dollars in that fucking cage. For every fucking chip on the floor, you gotta have that money in the fucking cage. And guess what? There's a gang going around robbing these places because they're charity events. They're going from fucking site to site, so the cops don't know where to fucking, you know, do a stakeout. There's fucking 20 of them running at any given moment. They're only gonna fucking be in the casino for 2 fucking minutes out of the 16 hours. You know, you can't put fucking surveillance everywhere and wait for these fuckers. They're coming in as a 3-man team. 2 have handguns. Handguns are not as easy to acquire in my country. 2 have handguns, 1 has a machete. One guy guards the door with his handgun, the other guy goes to the table, robs the players, takes their jewelry, whatever, any cash they got on them. The other guy's hitting the cage with the fucking machete. Benny's ready for these fucking clowns. Since, you know, these guys are hitting casinos, he's just waiting for them to hit his casino. So I hear him overtell the cashier that you're gonna write 2 fucking receipts. One with the real amount that's in the cage and the other that's fucking fake. Then he's gonna fucking destroy the real one in the event of a robbery. So let's just make up hypothetical numbers. Let's say there's 10,000 in the cage. He's gonna write 1 receipt for 10,000 and 1 for 20,000. The money's insured. When he gets robbed, he's gonna say there was 20 in the cage. This is the only guy I know that gets fucking robbed and makes money on the fucking robbery. Yeah, that's Benny, motherfucker.